if I keep myself talking, I'll be all right. Otherwise, I have to just pull over and get a closer hotel. But I don't want to be able to do that. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and drive straight to the hotel. Straight to the airport, because it'll be like a 5-minute drive as opposed to an hour drive or whatever. And you never know with traffic. And I'm in Atlanta, and I don't know nothing about Atlanta like that. So, but that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video. Another reason I'm making this video is to cover a wide range of different topics. Some I've spoken on before, some I haven't. But just having open dialogue. You guys know how I do. So where do we start? So many things to talk about, so little time. I got a little bit of time. I got about an hour left on the road, so we got some time to chat it up. At any given time, if I'm speaking about a topic that concerns you or interests you, or whether you like it or even disagree, leave a comment, contact me. For those who don't know how to contact me, if you're not Facebook friends, you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, whatever the case may be, you can reach me at lyrical.entertainment21@gmail.com. That's lyrical.entertainment21@gmail.com. I think I said that the first time. So it's lyrical.entertainment21@gmail.com. My mind is all discombobulated, guys, so stay with me. But a couple things. First, I wanna thank all the brothers and sisters in this truth that are portraying righteousness and humbleness in their life. They're making an impact, and they're not making it about themselves. I see positive change happening around them, and they just, they're just doing what the scripture tells us to do, man. Ma'ak and Yarika, Ma'ak Karatazai, Ma'ak Spider the Chief, Spider the Chief, or William Cole. All my ox that's making music, this positive music. My ox Ash Rakal. All of these different ox, man, they doing big things. And we got sisters, Sis Riri, LaShannon, Alicia. And this ain't everybody, it's a lot of people. I could be going on and on about all the people that's doing positive things, but a lot of times, a lot of what people are doing go unrecognized, and I'm not just talking about their Facebook posts or things like that, but you can always judge a person based off of their actions and not just their words. And these individuals, man, they are demonstrating righteousness, not just speaking righteousness. Because anybody can put up a couple righteous posts on Facebook to portray an image, but your actions is what defines you. So yeah, those people are doing really good things. My sister Tanya, and I love her because not only does she, seek righteousness and seek edification and building and uniting, she puts other people on, their businesses, their interests, their hobbies. It's amazing, My aunt Joel, me and him have really good discussions, and he's always putting up positive information. My aunt Cameron, Lucas Cameron, my boy, that guy, that man, that's the busiest person I know. He's the busiest individual I It's all good, man. It's all work for the kingdom.
Daddy.
Yeah. Dinosaur park?
Yeah.
No, buddy. We gotta get on a plane tomorrow. Yeah. We're going to the hotel, and then we're gonna order some food, and then we're gonna go to sleep. And when we wake up, it's time to get on the plane.
Okay.
But we'll see if there's a Chuck E. Cheese in Hawaii when we get there. Okay.
Okay.
If they don't have a Chuck E. Cheese in Hawaii, they have a Chuck E. Cheese in Guam. So when we get home to Guam, we'll go to Chuck E. Cheese with your brother and your sister and Miss Ebony. Okay. But you can go ahead and take your nap, man. I'll wake you up when we get to the hotel. You took so many naps?
Yeah.
He took one nap. That's my boy. I'm too excited, man. I love having all of my kids together and them spending time together. And my kids are going to be so excited when we get back. Because I came out here to pick my son up, so I can't wait to see their faces. My daughter knows that I came to pick him up, but my youngest son, he doesn't know. And when I speak to him on video chat, he's always like, "Daddy, where are you? Where are you?" And I'm like, I'm out. I'm away. You know. And I told my wife, I said, you know, if the kids ask where I'm at, just tell them, because I don't want to lie. I don't want her to lie to the kids. I do want to surprise the kids, but my daughter, she's too nosy, too intuitive, and so she don't ask, "Oh, where's Daddy?" and then let it go. She asks specific questions. So my wife had to spill the beans. So we're trying to do that with my son. Hopefully he can hold out, but it's gonna be at least another 3 or 4 days before we get back to Guam. So cross your fingers, but I know he's gonna lose his mind when he sees his big brother. And then when he realizes that his brother's gonna be there for a while to spend time, oh man, look, I can't wait. But what was I finna say? Yeah, so next topic. Let's continue to move on. All right, lately there's been a lot of going back and forth about polygyny. One of my ox in particular, my Aunt Eddie, that boy stay making polygyny posts. I love him though. I love him because he's not right. I mean, he's not wrong. He just keeps pushing the issue, but that's okay because it's an issue that needs to be pushed. This is the thing, because polygyny is not polygamy. They're two different things. Really quick, let me break them down. Polygamy is when a male or a female can have more than one husband or wife, where it could essentially be like the husband and the wife has a husband and a wife and they're all together. That's polygamy. And that's pagan in its roots. The Greeks practiced that. I believe the Romans practiced it. I know the Babylonians practiced it. And a couple other cultures practiced it. Now, polygyny is another term for biblical marriage. Now, in the Bible, there's two different types of marriage, and both are not only accepted by the Most High, both are considered righteous by the Most High. There's monogamy, where there is one man and one wife, and then there's polygamy. I mean, not polygamy, oh goodness gracious, polygyny, where there's one man and more than one wife. Now, however many wives, it's up to the man. The problem with polygyny is that it gets a bad rap because a couple different reasons. One, where do we live at? We stay in the United States of America, in this westernized society. So we've been brought up in a westernized society, so we have a westernized mindset, which is typically monogamy. So when a person hears, a man with more than one wife, it's taboo, right? It's initially taboo, and it sounds disrespectful. They're not really understanding that it's actually how Hebraic culture went. The 12 tribes of Israel was founded upon a polygynous marriage. Yeah, with Jacob and his wives. Okay, that's how Israel came to be. And Jacob wasn't the only one to practice polygyny. There was a lot of big figureheads, forefathers, that practiced polygyny in the scriptures. Okay, there's law in Torah governing polygyny. It tells you that if you're going to partake in polygyny, these are the guidelines that you have to follow. For example, it says that if you are to take another wife, her food, her raiment, and conjugal rights, or your duty as a husband unto her must be satisfied. So if a man takes another wife, he has to provide for her. He's responsible for her. And if he cannot fulfill his duties as a husband, then he has failed and broken Torah. Which is why polygyny should not be taken lightly. And it shouldn't be done for the wrong reasons. Which brings me to my next point. Polygyny also gets a bad rap because you have individuals who misuse the scriptures to justify polygyny, and they don't have a righteous mindset behind it. It's backed by lust. It's backed by wickedness. A man just wants more than one woman to kind of like be a pimp, be a player. And that's not how you do it. That's not how polygyny goes. That's not how it's established. Polygyny is beautiful. Polygyny is righteous. Polygyny is about family, a family unit working together. It's about nation building. It's about establishing, your seed. It's not about how many women you can have under your belt. That's not what it's about. In all honesty, and all men who are married can attest to this, it's hard enough being married to one wife. Think about everything you deal with your wife. Maybe the disagreements, the obligations that you have onto her, the financial burden that you have in regards to your marriage. But in a polygyny marriage, right? You got all of that times however amount of the wives you have. So it's not for the faint of heart, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. My issue with those who disagree with polygyny is polygyny is not mandatory. It's an option. So if you, male or female, decide that that's not for you and you don't want to partake in it, that's absolutely fine. Go the other way. Go monogamous. But don't demean, belittle, insult, and label polygyny as evil or wicked because you don't want to partake in it. There's plenty of people who seek out polygyny righteously, partake in polygyny righteously, and live their lives according to the Torah. And it's nice. It's beautiful. You have to take your feelings out of the equation. And I see it a lot in sisters, especially these sisters in the truth. Because, you come from, this westernized mindset and you're trying to transition into the into the Hebraic mindset, but you're holding on to the traditions of men, and you can't get past that. You're thinking about, oh, I don't want to share my man. Oh, I don't want no other woman touching my man, talking to my man, being with my man, whatever the case may be. It's not a competition. In a polygyny marriage, the wives are best friends. They're like sisters. They uphold one another. They help each other around the house. They help each other with the kids. If a man has 3 wives and he's working, right? Say one of the 3 wives decides that they want to work, right? And they work that out with their husband, and they're working. That's 2 additional incomes in the house, right? And then you have the 2 wives that decide to stay home with the children. You have 2 constant influences rearing the children, raising the children. And let's say one of the wives gets sick, the other wife can pick up the slack and continue the work, and nothing falls off. And that's the beauty of it. It's nation building. In a household where it's just one man, one woman, if the male's working and the wife gets sick, you know, either he has to take off work to try to help with the house, or she has to like push through it, and then the kids get sick, or any other combination, or she got to find a babysitter, or maybe she got family that's in the area that can help out. But a lot of times you don't have family to help you. But all in all, if you guys want to get more into polygyny, look into the scriptures. It talks about it. There's nowhere in the scriptures, in all of the scriptures, that says it's a sin to practice, that says that the Most High forbade it, that says that the Most High hated it or disliked it, or that the Most High stopped it in any way. There's only one scripture in the entire Bible that speaks against polygyny, and it's used out of context, and that's Deuteronomy 17:17. And I know this scripture because I too had to research this scripture, because at first, if you look at it and you read it, you're like, yeah, see, it's talking against polygyny, but it's not. It says that he should not multiply horses, silver, or wives unto himself, lest it turn him away from the Most High. And so they're like, oh yeah, you know, he's supposed to multiply wives unto himself. That's polygyny. But that's verse 17. If you go down, if you go up to, I believe, verse 15, it gives specific explanation that everything following verse 15 is speaking about a king of Israel. A king. Deuteronomy 17 is referring to how a king of Israel should conduct himself. Not your everyday brute. So, think about David and how he handled Uriah the Hittite with Bathsheba. How he wanted Bathsheba for himself, so he slept with her, and then he sent her husband to the front lines to die so he can have him to himself, without even, trying to do anything to him, tempt him or whatever. She was the cause of him to stumble, but he made the decision to do wickedly. And this is King David, right? Well, that's one of the reasons why Deuteronomy 17:17 is in place. But even though the Most High still told David, if he wanted more wives, all he had to do was ask, and the Most High would have given him more wives. So, family, like polygyny, that's cool. I'm not an advocate to have people get into polygyny. I am simply a follower of the scriptures. I agree wholeheartedly with everything that are in the scriptures, whether it be for me or not. I rock with polygyny. Everybody who know my posts know about the group me and Eddie got, Poly Wives Matter. But I'm in a monogamous relationship, a monogamous marriage, happily. I love my wife. She's my one and only. But I do agree with scripture, and I won't go against scripture, period. So if you don't like it, that's cool, but don't say it's wrong. Take your feelings out of it. You don't ever have to partake in it, but don't look down upon those who do. That's all I'm saying. What else we've been talking about? Flat Earth. Yeah, flat Earth. Let's talk about flat Earth for a second. So there was a debate not too long ago regarding flat Earth that I did with another brother, and overall I say it was a good experience. There's so many people who feel strongly about it, and then there's good people who just don't care. And they ask, why does it matter? It's not a salvation issue. That's the one of the general consensus I get. Why do I care about flat Earth? Well, it's simple. It's very simple. There's three main reasons. First main reason, it matters because the Most High created the earth in a specific manner, and to acknowledge any other manner outside of what he created, what he ordained, is a form of blasphemy. Why wouldn't you acknowledge the Most High's creation as he made it? That's like saying a woman's shape is not like he created it. A woman doesn't have breasts to nurse, or a woman can't have children. Stuff like that. Like, why would you go against how he created a woman? Why would you go against how he created the earth? It's simple, just based on straight out of reverence and respect for the Most High. Simply acknowledge the earth as he created it, and he specifically stated in his word how he created it. There's a firmament. He created the sun and the moon and the stars in the firmament to separate the waters from below and above. He created the landmass that separated the waters from below, the waters from the waters underneath the firmament. And there's many scriptures. There's over 240 scriptures in the Bible alone, not including Jasher, Jubilees, Enoch, the Apocrypha. Just in the 66 books of the Bible, there's over 240 scriptures supporting flat Earth. Flat Earth is biblical, people, and it's scientific, and it's rational on so many different levels. We've been lied to by NASA. We've been lied to by these government agencies. And, it's not our fault. We're easily indoctrinated. Think about how many people are in Christianity. Billions. And Christianity can easily be debunked. Easily. But people are still in it wholeheartedly with faith. I know I was at one point in time. So that's another reason. Okay. Next, outside of that's how he created it, it's important because, sorry, it's starting to get a little trafficy up here. Because truths that's out there. Now, some may label these truths conspiracies or whatever, what have you, but it all goes together because it's all a part of one big agenda. Let me explain really quick. Have you ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones? Well, if you haven't, there's some stones in the middle of this privately owned plot of land, I believe in a public park. There's these 3 tall stone tablets with the stone tablet on top, kind of look like a version of Stonehenge in a way, but like smaller. And on these tablets are writings in all different languages. Some languages that can't even be interpreted because nobody's ever heard of them or spoke them, or whoever did speak them isn't alive to be able to translate. But English is one of those, believe it or not. And on there, it's a list of a systematic agenda that clearly states some things. The main thing of which that stands out is they want to reduce the Earth's population, the entire population, to 500 million. 500 million. It's over 7 billion people on this planet. They want to have 500 million people worldwide. That's mass extermination. Mass extermination. You know how many people you gotta kill to get that? Let's see, 500 million, that's like the population of California. That's like the population of California, spread out over the whole planet. If that's not an agenda, I don't know what is. Now, you said, well, how does that link with flat Earth? These folks got y'all believing that at any given time, a natural disaster can occur. At any given time, a meteor can come and strike the Earth from outer space. Outer space, yes. And that's just a cover up, bro. All they gotta do is set off nukes and blow some shit up. Like big nukes, atomic bombs type nukes. And just a meteor collided with the Atlantic Ocean, causing mass destruction in this country or that country, or it caused this tidal wave and caused this tsunami. All of these things, and just chalk it up to meteors, link it to some type of space catastrophe, and people gonna eat it up. They gonna buy into it. Oh, okay, it was a meteor. Moving on with my life. Or these earthquakes caused by, you know, whatever the case, whatever story they want to spin. If they can spin a gas leak for almost any explosion, they can spin using a meteor for stuff like that. So it ties in it like that. Another tie-in. Have you ever heard of chemtrails? If you haven't, if you ever look up in the sky and you see these long streaks of what looks like clouds, it looks like it comes from the exhaust from the planes and the jets that's flying above. Well, the streak that comes from a jet, one, it's a lot lighter and shorter than a chemtrail. Two, it's caused by condensation in the atmosphere as the exhaust comes out of the engine of that said jet or plane. And it dissipates after a while. It doesn't stay, and it doesn't cover large amounts of space in the sky. Chemtrails, however, are purposefully sprayed chemicals into the atmosphere as a plane. It's pumping it out. It's just spraying it out. And it's a really distinct, thick line that goes across the sky. And so they call chemtrails the exhaust trails from these jets, which are false, because in the areas in which these chemtrails have been occurring, right, you have large amounts of chemical deposits in the air, in the soil, in the livestock, in the crops, and in the water supplies of these different areas. Large amounts of toxic. It's so bad, people are getting sick and people are dying in these areas. There's a documentary about this young lady. She was prior military, Air Force. She worked in bioenvironmental, where she could test these different substances, and she stumbled upon chemtrails and investigated for herself. Tested the soil, tested the plants and the vegetation, and found astonishing results that blew her mind, of chemicals that were no way could be produced in those natural environments. They had to be added. And when she took her results, her findings to her superiors, they told her to pretty much shut her mouth, which ultimately led her to be a whistleblower and get out of the military. But these are the things that we're dealing with in life, man. And the chemtrails is just another form of population control. Like I said, if you go back to the Georgia Guidestones, they want to get the population under 500 mil. Well, you can't just wipe out 6.5 or however many billion people at one instant. You got to put a series of systematic genocidal, plans in place to kind of bring an equilibrium to the death toll. The round earth being one large portion where you can knock out large chunks of people at once and be justified, so to speak. You got the chemtrails that's constantly affecting populations. You got situations where they poison the water supply. Look at Flint, Michigan. How long did it take them to take action in Flint, Michigan? You have Planned Parenthood and all of these different abortion clinics set up across the United States and even in other countries. And I personally don't care what your stance is, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, whatever you want to call it. Abortion is murder. There's no way around it. A woman is not in control, because that life that is within her isn't hers. It belongs to the baby. It's a separate body. It's not her body. And abortion is murder under any circumstance. Now, there are unfortunate situations where, women are raped or different things, just really difficult, hard situations like that. But that child is innocent, and that child has nothing to do with whatever happened to that woman, or the people get pregnant early and they say they can't take care of kids. Well, you decided to have sex, and you know that sex could be a possible outcome. I mean, a pregnancy could be a possible outcome of that sexual intercourse. So, hey, you rolled the dice and you lost. Now it's time to step up and be a parent. I'm just saying, I don't agree with abortion outside of my biblical views, you know what I mean? But there's so many abortions that's also controlling the population growth and stunting the population at the same time. That also plays a part in it. And you have vaccinations, flu shots. There's over 600,000 cases of infants dying in the United States alone from being vaccinated. And they portray vaccination and they put it out there like it's a good thing, like it's preventing some stuff from happening when it's actually causing it. So how you gonna tell me you're gonna put a virus or disease in my body, and it's supposed to make me be better. You're putting it in my body, and it's, oh, your body will build up antibodies for it. That's BS. It causes all types of problems, autism, all types of things. That's another one. You have the establishment of these different hate groups that are killing people. You have white men putting on very professional created masks disguised as black men, going out in these urban communities, these low-income communities, and killing black men and making it look like it's black on black crime. And then there's already a stereotype that we're killing each other. And I'm not saying we're not killing each other, because we do to an extent. But seeing as though these people are playing a part in that begs the question, how many of these instances are actually happening and how many are organic, But you got all of these different things that's playing a part in this mass, this mass systematic genocide. And flat earth is just one part of it. And the last reason why flat earth is important, because to me, it is to an extent a salvation issue. And I say that because you have, oh no, yeah, traffic, man. You have people who say, well, if I believe in a round earth, or if I believe in a flat earth, it's not going to change whether I go to heaven or hell. But if you follow the scriptures, you know that you can't pick and choose what you're gonna follow or not. You either you rock with the whole Bible, you accept the whole Bible, or you don't. You gotta put all of it out. It's either take it all or throw it away. Clearly talks about flat earth, and you're clearly not rocking with flat earth, but you say you love the Most High and you following the Most High. That's kind of going against the word there. And who is the word? The Messiah. He's the living word. And who established the word? The Most High. How serious is the Most High about his word? So serious to the point where he put his word, well, a portion of his word, physically on 2 stone tablets and placed them within a customized box, which he gave instruction on how to build, and said that this box should only be touched by specific individuals of a specific lineage. And if you weren't one of those individuals, if you touch that box, you die instantly. He would kill you, and he killed people for that. So I ask, how serious is the Most High about his word? So that's why I always say research flat earth. Flat earth is very important to me, and those are my reasons why, man. Like, study everything. Scripture says, test all things and hold on to which is good. Now, whether that be a specific doctrine, flat earth, or is the law done away with, whatever the case may be. It's important that we look out and we research these things, we study these things, we seek understanding. Because if we're not doing these things, we're just living life blind, like sheep to the slaughter, and there's no excuse when we find ourselves being slaughtered, because we were just going through life blind. We gotta ask questions. We gotta question everything. lot of us woke up and came out of the Christian church and came out of these other religions because we started to question things. Don't get in this truth and then get comfortable and stop questioning stuff. Keep questioning things. You know? But hey, I digress on that. Let's see, what else? What's another topic? Well, I said the law is done away with, right? All right, we'll talk about that for a second. There's still division on whether the law is done away with. It used to be mainly between Hebrew Israelites and Christianity. But now it's become an issue within the Hebrew Israelite community where there's Hebrew Israelites that are believing that we aren't to follow the laws in the Torah. We are in a new covenant with the Messiah. I won't spend too much time on this because a lot of the brews, they've done extensive research into this and they know. But quickly, I'll hit a couple points. Mainly, one of the main reasons why people believe that the law is done away with is based on the epistles of Paul. And when they read his epistles, it could sound like he's speaking against the law, and he's actually not. And we can be sure of this because, one, in the book of Acts, read the book of Acts, it's a great book. He is questioned and put on trial for this same subject of people accusing him of speaking against the law. And he says in his own words, he did not speak against the law or the prophets. He is following the law. That's one. Two, we know he's following the law because he's a Nazirite, and that's in Torah. There's a way to become a Nazirite. There's a lifestyle you must uphold as a Nazirite, and there's a way to get out of being a Nazirite. And he goes through all of those processes, and it's in the New Testament. It's not in the Old Testament. His process is in the New Testament. Now, the law governing being a Nazirite is in the Old Testament. This is how we know he followed the law. That's another one. Another point with Paul. He states in Romans chapter 7 verse 1 that he is speaking to those who know the law. If you don't know the law, he wasn't talking to you. Because in order to understand his writings, you have to have a foundation in Torah or the Old Testament. You have to, or else you won't understand him. You won't understand the Messiah if you don't have a foundation in the Old Testament. And this is also confirmed in Peter. I believe it's 2 Peter. And Peter talks about it and mentions Paul. And it says that, as we know, and he brings up Paul, he said, our beloved brother Paul, whose writings are some things to be hard to understand. Even Peter knew that Paul was saying some stuff that's hard for newbies to understand. But Peter specifically states of those that are unlearned. Woo! And then he goes into a couple verses after that, pretty much saying that they twist the scriptures and they pretty much fall to their own destruction based off of their misunderstanding of scripture, because they're reading scripture that they can't understand because they don't have a foundation in the Torah. That's another one. And we'll go to Messiah, and he's one of the hugest reasons why people believe that the law is done away with. They think that based off of his sacrifice that he did away with the law when he did it. And him, in his own words, says that he did not come to destroy the law or the prophets, but to fulfill the law. And not one jot or one tittle, meaning one speck, not even one piece, small piece of the law, is to be done away with until all be fulfilled. All hasn't been fulfilled yet. And lastly, in Ecclesiasticus, it says that the whole duty of man is to follow the law. keep the commandments. And that's instruction from the Most High. The Most High said his law is everlasting. That's in the Old Testament. There's so many accounts talking about the law and upholding the law. Paul said the law is righteous and just and good, and that is the law sin? God forbid, is what he says. In the book of James, it brings up the debate between the law versus grace, or grace versus works, the works of the law. And it says that faith without works is dead. So you need both. You need faith and you need works. Works being your actions. Works being following the Torah. It's all right there. So for those who misunderstand the scriptures, I just say read the Old Testament, reread it, get a foundation of Torah, and then go to the New Testament. And then your understanding will open up. So that was the law. Let's see what else we got. We talked about a bunch of stuff. Let's see. What else? Hot topic for me lately is this whole Israel thing. And I get under a lot of people's skin when I talk about this. And rightfully so, I understand. But the original 12 tribes, Adam and Eve, and they're all the originators in the Hebraic line, Hebraic lineage, were African American, Negro, Black, however you want to call them. But there's no way that the Negro of today in modern day USA can sit here and say that they know without a shadow of a doubt 100% that they're a natural bloodline Israelite based off of lineage. You cannot sit here and tell me that. And I say that because you have a bunch of race mixing, you have arranged marriages, you have whoring, you have all of these different things. You got slavery, white slave masters raping these young Israelite women, having mixed babies. And if you have an understanding of Torah, lineage in the Hebraic culture comes from the father, not the mother. So you are what your father is. If your father was a Gentile, then you are a Gentile. If your father was a Hebrew or an Israelite, then that's what you are, a Hebrew or an Israelite. So if you have a white slave master and he has a child with the Israelite woman, that child still may be dark skinned. He might be a lighter hue, a lighter color than the others, but he's still probably darker. He's a Gentile. Say that Gentile child grows up and, has a child with one of the other pure Israelite women, and that baby comes out dark. He's still a Gentile, but you're looking at his skin color and you're saying, oh, he's Israel because, he looks a certain way, and you can't do that. Earlier I said you should judge a person by their demonstration, their actions. I say, and scripture backs me up on this, if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and you believe in the Messiah, and you fear the Most High, then you're considered Israel. And then scripture also goes into back in the day, in the Old Testament, how strangers or sojourners, people who lived amongst the Israelites of other nations, were accepted into the Israelite congregation. They were even given inheritance rights. And I got a whole breakdown of this, all the scriptures, all the precepts that backs this up. I'm not just talking out of my behind. So I got all the info for this, and I've been talking on it because it needs to be talked about. The whole Hebrew Israelite movement is solely, well, not solely, but a large portion of it is based on lineage and heritage. And so when I speak about this topic, it offends people because it brings their entire belief system into question. But if you're only a if you're only a Hebrew Israelite, because these doctrines is highlighting yourself as something special, specifically chosen by the Most High, then are you really doing this for the right reasons? Shouldn't we just be doing this for our love of the Most High, not to elevate ourselves in status or standing? Think about it. Why would I openly come out and speak on a topic that doesn't highlight me? Why would I knock myself down purposely? It doesn't make sense. I'm an Israelite. I'm a Hebrew. I'm a child of the Most High. Not because I'm black or a minority, but because I love the Most High. I follow His law, statutes, and commandments, and I believe on His Son, the Messiah. And I fear Him. I reverence Him. And I follow these scriptures as they say, regardless of whether or not it elevates me or it demotes me. The scriptures speak for themselves. And so I must obey. Rightfully so. So, tell me to go over this way. It'll reroute. But okay. Well, why would I do that? You know? And then they're talking about Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 was speaking to all of Israel at that time. And Israel obviously was not just blacks or Hispanics or Native Americans. It was a mixture of multitudes of people, because they had sojourners and strangers that followed the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments and was considered Israelites. So when Moses was speaking to the masses of these varieties of people under one banner, under one nation, the curses in Deuteronomy 28 apply to all of them. And the curses of Deuteronomy 28 are faith and works based just as much as they're lineage based. But not lineage based in terms of one specific people. Lineage based in regards to those who decided to partake. Let's say some Asians were sojourners in Israel at that time. They followed the law, statutes, and commandments, and they was considered Israel. Their descendants, as long as the bloodline was kept pure with the male line, and they kept following the law, statutes, and commandments, their descendants was considered Israel. So Deuteronomy 28, the curses in Deuteronomy 28 also applies to those descendants. But you would look at an Asian and automatically say, oh, he's a Gentile, or he's a heathen. No, that's not the case, bro. I know other races, whites, Hispanics, Asians, freaking people of European descent, people of like Arabic descent, that fear the Most High and they follow His commandments. And have a humbling and righteous spirit, and get into the Word and demonstrate works. You feel me? A lot more than a lot of what these Hebrew Israelites out here doing. But y'all black, so it makes y'all better. It makes y'all special. If you out here still talking about worldly stuff, living a worldly lifestyle, and you just holding on to the title of Hebrew Israelite, you're not doing yourself or nobody else justice. You're a waste of breath and a waste of space. And I rebuke you. I do. Because there's people that have a strong heart and love for the Most High, and they're seeking Him. And they're coming to these people who are established as Hebrew Israelites and supposed to be in the truth and have the information and the knowledge to share and give, and they're being turned away because of the color of their skin or their nationality. And it's wrong. It's bogus. It shouldn't be like that. If somebody's coming and they want to seek the Most High, you engage with them. It's all about spreading the gospel, man. But that's not what's being done. So I'll digress on that subject. What else? We getting close. Oh, we say we like less than a mile left. So I guess I'll wrap this video up then. All in all, those are just some topics that I wanted to talk. Open dialogue, you know how I do. Thank you guys for being on that trip with me. You kept me awake, got us here safely. All praises to the Most High. Because I'm telling you, man, when I hit that road, I was feeling it. And I looked at that GPS and it said I still had, what it said, 130 miles to go. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. We was about to switch up these hotel rooms, boy. I'm not playing with you. Because I do road trips. And I know those who do road trips a lot, you know when your body can't take it. You know when you're going to go to sleep at the wheel. And just know your limits. And yeah, I wasn't going to make it, man. But that's just covering some different topics of discussion, man. Like I said, leave a comment, hit me up, reach out if you agree, disagree, whatever the case may be. You know, I'm here to discuss. We can keep it an edifying discussion. This is what we're here for. Because if you don't talk about these different topics and discussions, how would anybody, you know what I'm saying, seek out what is true? Test all things and hold on to which is good. Don't just take my word for it. Look into what I'm talking about. Research it, you know? But you guys be safe. Hope you guys are enjoying. Hope the Most High continues blessing you, keeping you guys in His favor. For those of you who are diligently seeking Him, don't be discouraged if you're being turned away from ignorant and bigot, hateful doctrines. Keep seeking Him. He'll come through, and it'll show, and you'll be able to see all the mysteries that's revealed, and you'll be able to receive that love of the Most High. You guys be good. Shalom.